Hello guys, this is Rachna Twinkle. In this lesson, I'll explain you how to name the alkanes. You can follow me on Unacademy and this is my link. Alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons. That means the carbon atoms are linked or joined together by single bonds. These are also called as paraffins and the suffix is given by ANE. The general formula for alkanes is CnH2n plus 2. So let's see how to name the alkanes. So in the first compound we have 4 carbon atoms. So the root word for 4 carbon atoms is bute. So it is given as bute and the suffix as ane. So the name of this compound is butane. And in the second compound we have 3 carbon atoms that are joined by a single bond. So it is an alkane. And for 3 carbon atoms the root word is prop. So it is propane and the suffix is given as ane. So the name of the compound is propane. Here we have a substituent, that is we have a methyl group. You have an alkyl group. So if you remove one hydrogen atom from the alkane, they come under alkyl groups. So these are the examples. That is, this is methyl group. How do we name this alkyl groups? Suppose if you have one carbon, we write it as meth. The root word is meth, and instead of writing ane, we replace it by yl. We replace it by yl. So this is methyl. We have 2 carbons, so it is ethyl. If we have 3 carbons, it is propyl. So let's see how to name this compound. We have 3 carbon atoms. This is a parent chain. You can select this one or this one. Either the ways the names remain same. So on the second carbon we have a methyl group. So you have to mention the substituent, the number on which carbon it is attached to. So it is 2-methyl propane. So identify the parent chain. So this is the parent chain or this one. Either the ways the name remains same for this compound. So on the second carbon and on the fourth carbon we have methyl groups. So we write it as di. Since we have 2 methyl groups, we write it as 2,4 dimethyl pentane. The parent chain, the main chain, the parent chain has 5 carbon atoms. So the root word is pent, and since it's an alkane, we write the suffix as ane. So it is 2,4 dimethyl pentane. So in the fifth compound, identify the parent chain. So it has 6 carbon atoms, so it is hexane, and it has 3 methyl substituents. We have 3 methyl groups, so we write it as trimethyl, and you have to mention the positions. You have to number the chain. You have to number the parent chain in such a way that the substituent gets the least value. So 2, 3, 5 trimethyl hexane is the name of this compound. 2, 4, 5 trimethyl hexane is wrong, because the substituent should get the least value, the lower value. So identify the parent chain. So this is the parent chain. It has 9 carbon atoms. So the root word for 9 carbon atoms is 9 carbon atom is known. Since it's an alkane, it is nonane. And we have to number the carbon atoms. If I go this way, the substituent gets the least value. So it is 4-ethyl 3,6,7 trimethyl nonane. So 3 methyl groups, so trimethyl. And so which one to write first, either ethyl or methyl? According to the alphabetical order we have to write. So E comes first, so we write it as 4-ethyl 3,6,7 trimethyl nonane. In the 7th compound, this is a complex compound. So first identify the parent chain. So this is the parent chain, and these are the substituents, and here we have a substituted substituent. So that is 3-ethyl. We have 2 carbons, so it is 3-ethyl. And for the 5th carbon, we have a substituted substituent. So we write it as 1'. For the 1' we have an ethyl group, and for the 2' we have a methyl. For 2' we have a methyl group. So we write it as 1' ethyl, 2' methyl, and propyl. And the parent chain has 9 carbon atoms, so it is nonane. So 3-ethyl 5, 1' ethyl, 2' methyl, propyl nonane is the name of the compound. So identify the parent chain, and here we have two methyl groups attached to the second carbon, and on the fourth carbon we have identical substituents, that is substitute substituents. So when you have identical substituents, you write it as bis. We have 2, so we write it as bis. So this becomes 2, 2 dimethyl 4, 4 bis. On 1 prime we have an methyl group, so we write it as 1 methyl ethyl heptane. The parent chain has 7 carbons, so it is heptane. So the name of the compound is 2, 2 dimethyl. We have 2 methyl groups, so it is dimethyl. And then on 4 we have 2 identical substituent substituents, so we write it as bis. And on 1, that is on the first carbon, we have on 1 prime we have a methyl group attached to it, so it is methyl ethyl heptane. So if you have cycloalkenes, we mention the prefix as cyclo, so it is cyclopropane, 3 carbons, so it is propane. Here we have a cycloalkene which consists of 5 carbons, so it is cyclopentane. And here we have a substituent, so we mention it as 1 methyl cyclopentane. And here we have 2 methyl groups, so we have to mention the positions, that is 1, 3 dimethyl cyclopentane. It has 5 carbon atoms, so pentane. This one identify the parent chain. This is the parent chain. And on the third carbon we have a cyclopropyl, so this becomes 3 cyclopropyl hexane. Now let's see how to name bicyclo compounds. So for the bicyclo compounds, we give the prefix as bicyclo, and in the brackets we mention the number of carbon atoms that are present in the bridges, in these bridges. These are called as bridges, and these are called as bridge heads. So how do we write? So we have 10 carbons in this bicyclo compound, so we write it as decane, and we mention the prefix as bicyclo. We have 4 carbon atoms in this bridge, and we have 4 carbon atoms in this bridge and no carbon atoms in this bridge, so it is 4 dot. We have to write it, we have to mention them in brackets, that is 4 dot or full stop 4 and 0. We have tried this in descending order. So let's take this compound. So overall we have how many carbon atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is heptane. So we give the prefix, so it's a bicyclo compound, so we give the prefix bicyclo. And in this bridge we have 2, in this bridge we have 2, and here we have 1. So it becomes bicyclo 2.2.1 heptane. So here we have 5 carbon atoms, so it is pentane, and bicyclo prefix is given, bicyclo. We have 2 carbon atoms in this bridge and no carbon atoms in this, and 1 carbon atom here. So this becomes bicyclo 2.1.0 pentane. What if you have a substituent? If you have a substituent, then you have to number it from the bridge head. You have to start numbering it from the bridge head. So 1, and you have to follow the ring which has more number of carbon atoms. So this way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we write it as on the 8th carbon we have to the 8th carbon we have the methyl group, so it is 8 methyl bicyclo 4 and 4 dot 3 dot and 0 in this bridge, so 0, and overall we have 9 carbons, so we write it as nonane. If two rings are joined by if these rings are joined by a single atom, then these are called as spiro compounds. So here one atom, these both rings are joined by by single atom. So these come under spiro compounds. So for spiro compounds, the prefix spiro is given, and in the brackets we mention the number of carbon atoms, and we mention these numbers in ascending order. So overall we have 9. So we mention it as nonane, and we number in such a way that the smaller ring comes first. We start numbering this way and then towards the big ring. So here we start numbering like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and we have four carbon atoms, and here we have 4 carbon, so we write it as pyro 4.4, no name. And here in this we proceed this way: the smaller ring, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, sorry, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, so it is heptane, and the prefix is given as pyro 2.4 heptane. If you have identical hydrocarbons joined by a single bond, then we write it as, we number it this way: 1 2 3, and 1 prime 2 prime and 3 prime, and 1 comma 1. If you have 2, then we write it as bi. If we have 3, we write it as ter. If we have 4, we write it as quater. So here we have 2 same identical hydrocarbons, so we mention it as bi, and this is cyclopropane. These are cyclopropane. So the name of this compound is 1 prime bicyclopropane. In my next video, I'll explain you how to name the alkenes and alkanes. For more videos, follow me on Unacademy. Thank you.